Hello everyone, and welcome to Downhaven Entertainment. Today we will be reviewing Taken 2.
Once I had a wife, my great love. She was taken from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Ra's al Ghul's origin story. Okay, some cool revenge movies. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Hard Candy, Gladiator, Man on Fire, Once Upon a Time in the West, Taken 1. Could this be on the list? Well, let's get into the movie. The movie stars Liam Neeson as Brian Mills, who brings these movies to life. There's just something that works with this guy. I don't even think Hollywood gives Neeson a script to work with. It's just cameramen following him around and building a movie around his life. Liam Neeson doesn't star in Taken. Taken stars in Liam Neeson. What? Famke Janssen as Lenore, and Maggie Grace as Kim. Now, the first movie was pretty enjoyable. You got the sense that Brian Mills was a man on a mission trying to get his daughter back. The movie had a pretty simple premise, yet I cared for the characters for the most part. I was in the theater wanting this guy to make it through because I felt so bad for his daughter, even though I know most likely she'll make it out alive. Liam Neeson, ex-government agent who's good at what he does, man on a mission with brains and bronze and a gun. It worked for that movie, so there's no way you can screw up the sequel, right? Well, let's talk about what works for the movie. Liam Neeson. I've already played that out, so next. The idea that Brian's mission had a cause and effect. Even though the baddies that Brian has killed in the first movie were horrible people, these baddies had a family. A family who wants revenge on Brian, though illogical and reasoning, still human. Those guys are slime. Now let's talk about what didn't work. The family being involved. Okay, Taken 1, fine. Makes for a good movie. Twice to the same man, it's already old. These bad people have a plan to kill Neeson for what he has done. No, they vow on their dead sons that they will kill Neeson's character and pour his blood into their graves. Yet, when they have the chance to do so, they decide that solitary confined torture is a better plan. So they decide to kidnap his family, failing to capture his daughter, hold Neeson in those plastic handcuffs on jagged rusty metal, nick his wife's neck vein with a knife, hold her upside down to slowly bleed to death, and leave the two alone with no real surveillance.
All of it.
You want a better version of this? Brian and his wife would be in that room with the bad guys, and when Brian is unmasked, he would see his wife across from him. They would cut her throat wide open and tell him what's going to happen to his daughter, kill him, and honor the vow that was made in the beginning of the movie. I'm sorry, that's reality. Come to think of it, don't you think that would make a good cliffhanger? Where Brian's daughter would seek revenge years later after training or whatever? What else didn't work was the pacing and editing. When the fight goes down, the camera is shaky, which is okay, but when it is edited so choppy that one swing of the fist requires two camera angles, the fight becomes nauseating. There was one point where I could notice they show a fight close up, then 1 second it shows the fight like 50 feet away. Then it's back to close up again, and I didn't know if he killed them or knocked them out until 10 seconds after the fact. The pacing felt off too. For example, 1 second we're at Brian's ex-wife's house discussing a situation. Then we jump to a barbecue at Brian's place. Guy's not out for about 15 seconds. Then we go out of the country, I guess, to see bad guys searching for Brian for about 10 seconds. Then Brian is out of the country doing a job and his family decides to surprise him there. And I'm in the theater like, okay, we are really moving along, aren't we? Liam, jump off something, hit a face, blow a car up because I don't care about your family anymore. Also, the character development was almost non-existent. Things were just happening and we have to accept it as an audience. At some point, Brian has to fight one bad guy who apparently knows martial arts, but there is no build-up to why this guy is such a threat to Neeson's character. We know who's going to win, so there's no sense of urgency. Neeson's daughter apparently has little to no driving skills, yet when she has to drive like a crazy skilled person, she's hitting corners at 30 to 50 miles per hour, driving through crowded areas. She dodged a train for crying out loud, and I wasn't buying it. Neeson's character just kept barking orders at her, and all she said was,
I can't.
Turn right.
I can't.
Go straight.
I can't.
Reverse.
I can't. I can't.
Left.
The main villain was idiotic. I really didn't like him, not because of what he's done, it's just his character. I just wanted him to die, unless that's what they were going for, then they succeeded in that area. Overall, this movie was a disappointment, a bad sequel to a fairly decent film. It seems to me that Neeson's other movie that he was in, called Unknown, could have been a good idea for a sequel, but that didn't happen, so we're stuck with this movie. And boy, I'll tell ya, I can't wait for this one, so after seeing this movie, I have to give this movie a solid C-.